Hello friends, welcome to Bracket CSE, and in this series of database our today's topic is normal form. So we will be understanding that why normal forms are used, what are the different types of normal forms we have with the definition and along with the examples also. And after completing all the normal forms, in some videos we will be understanding some practice question, we will be doing some practice questions to have a grip on this particular topic, because it is one of the most important topic with respect to the gate and net also. So without wasting time, let's start with the normal form. So the normal forms are used in normalization, and the normalization used to reduce the redundancy. So we can say that the normal forms are used to reduce the redundancy, right? So we can identify degree of redundancy using the normal form. Like if it is in 1NF, then there is more degree of redundancy, and if it is in 4NF or BCNF, then it is comparatively low redundant than 1NF. So there are basically 5 types of normal form which are used nowadays. There are 2 more normal forms like 5NF and 6NF which are not generally used in the database. So the 1NF is the default one. If the relation is in relational database model, then it is said to be in 1NF. The second NF is 1NF with some conditions. Similarly, 3NF is 2NF with some conditions. Similarly, BCNF is 3NF plus some conditions. So we can say that if the relation is in high normal form, like if I talk about this BCNF, if the relation is in BCNF, that means it is already in 3NF with some condition to be followed to be in BCNF. So the higher level forms are by default follows the condition of low level forms as well. So this 1NF to BCNF are defined over the functional dependency, or we can say that single valued functional dependency, because in that single valued functional dependency every attribute is having only single or atomic values. The 4NF are defined over the multi-valued dependency, that means each attribute may have more than one values. We will be understanding this with the help of example. So what is the definition of 1NF? The first normal form, the relation R is in 1NF if there is no multi-valued attribute in relation R, which means that if there is any multi-valued attribute, then the relation is not in 1NF as well as it is not in the RDBMS also, because the 1NF is the basic condition of a table to be in relational database model. So every attribute of a relation must be atomic or single valued. For example, this is the example where we are having a relation R with 3 attributes, so roll number, name and course. So you can see that the courses is having multiple values for a single attribute. So this is a multi-valued attribute. So if there is a multi-valued attributes, then this is not in 1NF, because 1NF does not allows the multi-valued attributes or multi-valued dependency. So to convert this particular table into 1NF, we have to write it in a single row, like 10 Anil OS in one row, 19 Anil DBMS in another row, 21 Amit Algo in one row, 21 Amit and CN in another row, like this. So if I write like this, then this table is said to be in 1NF, because every attribute of a relation is having a single or atomic values. So by comparing these two tables, the given one and the derived one, you can easily compare and say that the disadvantage of 1NF is degree of redundancy. That means it is having more redundant data as compared to the normal one, because you can see that this 19L has been repeated. That means it is redundant. So now go with the second example. If you can see that I have taken one example here with the relation R and having 4 attributes as SID, SName, CID, phone number. So there are SID is S01, name is Sumit, course ID is C1 and C2, phone number is P1, P2, P2. So clearly it is a multi-valued attribute. That means the relation cannot be in 1NF. So to convert it into 1NF, we have to write it as an atomic values, like S01 Sumit C1 with P1, then C1 with P2, then C1 with P3. So similarly we have to write for these 2 rows, then that particular table is said to be in 1NF, right? Now let's move on to the 2NF. So the second normal form, relational schema R is in 2NF if there is no partial dependency in relation R. So first of all we need to understand what is the partial dependency. So if a subset of a candidate key, is deriving a non-prime attribute. So what are the non-prime attributes? Which are not a part of key. So if the subset or the proper subset of candidate key is deriving any non-prime attribute, that means the partial dependency exists. And if this scenario is there, then the relation is not in 2NF. If proper subset of candidate key derive only the prime attribute, then no partial dependency and the relation is said to be in 2NF. Let's try to understand this with the help of an example. So you can see that I taken an example, a relation R with three attributes A, B and C. And let me write it again. So I am having dependencies as AB to C and B to C. So here you can see that the AB is the candidate key. If you are not able to find out the candidate key, you will be having some problem in understanding this normal form. So I recommend you to watch the previous videos on candidate key, super keys and all the basics, because these are very much required to understand these kind of questions, right? So I will be giving you the link in the description to watch all those videos. Or you can do one thing, you can go to my channel and watch all the complete playlist for the database from starting to till here onwards, so that you can have a complete idea about what is going on, right? So I'm having these two functional dependencies and AB is a candidate key. So we have to check for each functional dependency one by one. So here you can see that in this particular dependency, is the left hand side a subset of candidate key? No, this is the candidate key itself. That means this condition is satisfied. If there is any subset, then we have to check, right? So for this you can see that B is a subset of AB. B is a proper subset of AB and it is deriving a non-prime attribute because C is not a part of the candidate key. That means it is a non-prime attribute. So because of this particular functional dependency, this complete relation is not in 2NF. So this way we can find out whether the relation is in 2NF or not. So let's try to understand this with help of one more example. So you can see that I am having a relation R with 6 attributes and these are the functional dependency. So what are the candidate key? So first of all we need to find out the candidate key. So AB and BC will be the candidate key. I am not discussing that how to find out the candidate key, as I already told you in the previous video. So these two are the candidate keys. So on the basis of these candidate key, we can find out what are the prime attributes and what are the non-prime attributes. So A, B and C comes in this key. So these are the prime attribute. Rest are the non-prime attributes. So D, E, F are the non-prime attribute. So now we have to check each functional dependency one by one to find out whether the relation is in 2NF or not. So for AB implies C. So AB is not a subset. That means it is not violating a condition. AE. So check AE is a subset. No, AE is not a subset. So it is not violating the case. B to D. Here you can see that B is a subset of both the candidate keys and it is deriving a non-prime attribute because D is a non-prime element. So it is deriving a non-prime element. So this is not in 2NF. Now let's further check that which particular dependency is violating the case. For C to A, C is a proper subset of the candidate key BC, right? But it is deriving a prime attribute A. That means it is not violating the case. Similarly, here you can see that D derives E. So D is not a subset of any of these two candidate keys. That means it is also not violating the condition of 2NF. So the complete relation is said to not be in CNF because it is not in 2NF because of this particular relation. So this particular relation is not in 2NF. In the further videos, I will be also letting you know that how you can convert this particular relation into 2NF by decomposing it into the further relation. So I will be covering first all the normal forms, then we will be heading towards the next level of questions, right? One more thing, if the relation is having if there is a binary relation, what is the binary relation? That means if the relation is having only two attributes. What is the binary relation? Relation with two attributes. For example, I am taking a relation R with only two attributes. It is always in 2NF. It is always in 2NF, but it is always in BCNF also. It will satisfy all the conditions of like 1NF, 2NF, 3NF and BCNF. How? Let's see. What are the different possible cases? The one case is the functional dependency is A to B, another case is B to A, and another case is A to B and B to A. In both the cases, here the candidate key is A. If the candidate key is A, then it is not validating the case of 2NF because no subset is possible. Similarly here, candidate key is B, no subset is possible. Similarly here, A and B both are the candidate key. So there are no chances of getting a subset of this particular key. So it cannot violate the condition of 2NF. Similarly, it cannot violate the condition of 3NF and BCNF. We will see it further, right? So friends, if you like this video, if you find it useful, like this video, comment on this particular video and share it with your friends. If you are new on my channel, subscribe to my channel so that you can regularly receive update on the GATE videos. So thank you very much for your support. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.